guys, it's Joe. Happy Thursday. This is Pikket with Joe. I'm excited to be here today. Sorry we are late. It is 4 o'clock Eastern instead of 3:30. 12 games on the board. Just a lot to go over today to bring you information in all of these games. So thank you for waiting for this show. I want to thank everyone who is already in. I see all of you jumping in here already in that live chat. Again, I appreciate you guys so very much. Hit that like, hit that subscribe over here on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Over on Twitter, you can give this a retweet so the video gets out more. That would be fantastic. Okay, like I said, 12 games on the board. We're going to jump into these right away. Now, I either have a side or a total. I have a lean in all of these games. You guys know I'm going to tell you which ones I like best. We'll build a parlay. We're going to get things going. Again, thank you guys so much. Let's make some freaking money on the ice today. Joe, we'll talk about the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid, but yes, over 3.5 shots on goal. I really can see him getting that against the St. Louis Blues. We know their defense is allowing those shots to come in. You guys, it is going to be a great Thursday of making money. It's Thursday, you guys. I cannot believe it's already here. I do like that over with the Kraken and the Canes. In that one, Jay, we've seen the Kraken allowing these goals as of late. You know, both these teams been locking things down. I lean to the over. There is 5.5, so if you like that over 6. Okay, Anthony, a big shout out to Gil and Ben. Rocco. Yeah, we're going to be talking everything. We're talking every single game here on the board, you guys. So many comments coming in. Let's jump into these games. I do like the over 3.5 shots on goals for Connor McDavid. I'll look at some more of these comments in a moment. Let's first get to the first matchup on the ice. This one kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern between the Anaheim Ducks and the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Montreal unable to pull off that win last night over the Sens, but they kept it tight. If you took them on the puck line, you know, you guys, I took them straight up on that money line. Trying to get that win there. Wasn't able to get that plus money, but I did have a smaller bet on that puck line at plus 1.5. So I hope you guys hit that one as well. Now, the Anaheim Ducks coming in here, starting Lucas Dostal. Now, he is expected, he's 0-1-0 on the season. He's got a 5.39 goals against average. With how the defense is doing for the Anaheim Ducks, I really struggle to see them be able to stop these pucks from going in the back of Lucas Dostal's net here today. They're allowing that 4.27 and 37.7 shots on goal. This goalie is going to be berated with shots. Now, the Montreal Canadiens, we know they haven't been playing in high-scoring games. They're only averaging that 2.86 and 29.3 shots on goal. I think this is a perfect opportunity for them to have an explosive offensive night tonight. I'm going to look at their team total over 3.5. Hitting that over 3.5 is beautiful plus money at plus 120. You guys know I love that. Now, they are on a back-to-back off that game versus the Sens last night, and they have struggled in this 3-4 situation, but I do think they come in strong. Facing the Ducks, who are really, you guys, the worst overall team in the whole NHL. I think this is one where Montreal gets a nice big win. You could take them here in regulation to get this win done as well. I like that, but I love the plus money with their team total over 3.5. I really do. I don't see this being one where the Ducks can limit them in this one. Yeah, I know you meant Thursday. I can't believe it's already Thursday. We've got a big show. We're going to go over everything we've got here. So in this first game, give me Montreal's team total over 3.5 plus 120 and Montreal in regulation. Now, if I'm looking at that, I am looking at that over as well. The total sitting here at 6. We just have to count on the Ducks to get some goals. We know how Jake Allen has been. So I'm a little hesitant to take the over 6 just because Jake Allen has been phenomenal in these last couple games, standing on his head. What he did against Calgary in that game, we look at all these different ones, even against the Sens, who have a way stronger offense than we see out of the Ducks. They were only able to get those 3 goals on him, and they really worked. And I don't know if you guys saw the last couple minutes of that game last night, but it was absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to stay off the 6 for the full total, but Montreal's team total I do like. Now, the next one on the board, we got the Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tarasaw confirmed in goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now he's 2-3-1 on the season with a 3.17 goals against average. Brian Elliott confirmed here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's got a 3.39, gone 6-1 on the season. So outstanding backup goalie in here for the Lightning. Now we've seen the Lightning. They've won their last 4 games as a home favorite over the Columbus Blue Jackets. So they definitely have nice home ice advantage over Columbus in this one. Columbus comes in off a loss. They got shut out by the Panthers. That was in Tuesday night. That was a 4-0 win for the Florida Panthers in that game. And we've seen the Tampa Bay Lightning rolling hot. They won their last 3 games. The last one over the Kraken on Tuesday. Huge win for them. 6-2 win over the Kraken. The Kraken just giving up too many goals defensively as of late. This is their last home game here before they head off on a road trip. Now, there was a couple ways I was looking at this because we got a total of 6.5, and I do lean towards that over because I really do think Columbus will come out here and put up a fight. So I'm going to take the over 6.5 in this one. We've seen 4 of the last 5 meetings go over this number between these two. The Blue Jackets have struggled versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. And while I do think we've got a high-scoring first period here, it's just too highly juiced, you guys, at over 1.5 at -160. Now, if you get that over 2, you might push on that, but I definitely think there is value taking that over 2 in that first period because we know how strong the Lightning have been doing getting these goals. They're averaging that 3.61 goals per game, 31.9 shots. Tarasov has that 3.17 goals against average. So I do count on the Lightning to get their share of goals, but I do think the Columbus Blue Jackets will get goals in this one. You guys know I love looking at those team totals when we're getting positive money. Now, Tampa's coming out with a 4.5 for their team total. Hitting it over is +130. And while there's great value there, they've got to get 5 of these goals, which I think this is more of a 4-3 style game. I think Columbus is awake in this game and gets something done. I don't think Tampa really blows them out of the water. We haven't seen Tampa blowing teams out of the water. 12-16 on that puck line. And 8-8 at home on that puck line. And I know the Columbus Blue Jackets haven't been keeping it tight either. They're 3-6 on that puck line on the road. But I think this one could be so close to Columbus being a 3-4 game or even a 3-5. So I do lean on that over. I look at the Columbus Blue Jackets team total over 2.5 because I have more confidence in them getting the 3 goals than I do in the Tampa Bay Lightning getting the 5 goals. 5 is just a lot to ask of them in this one, even though we know they got 6 just versus the Kraken. So the Columbus Blue Jackets team total over 2.5, the over 6 for the full game. I really love that in this one. As for a side, you know, we've got huge odds here with the Tampa Bay Lightning at -300, +240 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I do think Columbus keeps this one within reason close. I'm not willing to jump on a side here, though. I just don't find the value here, and I don't trust Columbus enough because we know the Lightning can all of a sudden break away and get these goals. Yeah, Montreal has been playing great as of late, so I think it's a good way to go. Montreal +1.5. Good afternoon, Danny. Oh, well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I washed the conditioner out of my hair and it actually feels super soft today. So definitely a good way to go. Jets will not lose 3 in a row. And this is what I'm counting on too. We're going to talk about those Winnipeg Jets in a moment. At home with Connor Hellebuck expected again, you guys. This has to be one the Jets should win. I sat here yesterday and said, oh my God, the whole country, all of Calgary at least, is going to hear Daryl Sutter. If Calgary loses last night, which... what the heck did they do? Lost that one in overtime to the Vancouver Canucks. I tell you, I was appalled by the performance we saw out of Calgary. They just did not dig deep at all. Yeah, at home, you're right. I know. I'm so glad I was able to wash the conditioner out too. You guys, I tell you, some of these days, I am so determined to get down and look at these odds. I don't know what happens to me. Montreal is playing some of their best hockey right now. They're going to come in playing this one hard tonight. Okay, let's move on to the next game here. Like I said, we got 12 games on the board. I originally counted 14, and I counted 14 last night twice, and I don't know what I was counting. There's only 12 games on the board, unless I'm missing 2 all of a sudden, but pretty sure we're good with 12. We got the Dallas Stars taking on the Washington Capitals. This one kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern. We got a total of 6. Now the Dallas Stars coming in here at minus 118 on that money line, minus 102 for the Washington Capitals. Now the Washington Capitals playing some great hockey right now. They won their last 5 games. The Blackhawks was a 7-3 win in their last game. They're off just a short 2-game road trip. So while I like to pay teams off a road trip, this wasn't a big road trip. Lindgren expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.81 goals against average, 7-3-2 on the season. Now looking at the Dallas Stars coming in here at minus 118, they're off that nice win over the Devils, one that I didn't expect them to win. They really hurt me either. They got a 4-1 win over the Devils. Now Jake Ottinger is expected in goal for them. He's got a 11-4-3 record on the season with a 2.49 goals against average. Both of these teams able to get the goals, and defenses both standing up nicely in these matches as well. Now these two teams did play back in October with the Dallas Stars getting a low scoring win. It was a 4-0 shutout win for the Dallas Stars. And when we look at the Dallas Stars here, they have the stronger power play, the stronger penalty kill, and they're winning those face-off battles. I think the ability to win these face-offs and control this game, especially on the power play and power kill, is going to be what gives Dallas this win. Now, I know the Caps are running so hot here, but I have to step in front of them with the Dallas Stars in this one tonight. I think they have the opportunity to get this win and not only win it, but I'm sprinkling on that puck line. I think Dallas comes out, and it's a really similar game to the last one we saw between these two back in October. I'm going to take Dallas here on the money line at minus 118. I'm also going to take them minus 1.5 on that puck line at plus 210. I can't not, you guys. I think Dallas is a better overall team here. And I think this line is a little bit of disrespect to the Dallas Stars because I think they are a much stronger team than the Washington Capitals, who are on a run at the moment. Now, we have seen the underdog win 4 of the last 5 meetings. The Capitals, though, have lost their last 9 games on a Thursday. You know you're stretching when you're finding trends for those days, but I want to look at a couple of these things. I really do think the Dallas Stars just are so much better. They have played Washington so hard as well. In the last 10 meetings in Washington, they've won 9 of those. And in the last 27 meetings overall, they've won 20 of those, only losing those 7. So I think it's Dallas's game to lose if they come out here poorly in this one, but I don't think they do. I think they come out nice and strong. Now, we know Alex Ovechkin has been absolutely phenomenal for the Washington Capitals. I expect another great night out of him, though. So they're going to have to find a way to stop him. He has 9 goals in his last 4 games. It's absolutely unbelievable how strong Ovechkin is playing. We talked about him getting his 800th goal the past week. And now when we look at the Capitals versus teams with winning records, this is where my biggest struggle comes in relying on the Capitals to keep going here. They're 5-11 in the last 16 versus teams with winning records. That game versus the Blackhawks, it was the Blackhawks, 7-3 win. They still allowed 3 goals by the Blackhawks. You guys, we thought maybe this would be a little bit of a situation when they played the Blackhawks, and we took the Blackhawks team total over. They were wanting this game here with the Dallas Stars. I think we have a battle on our hands, one that I'm willing to risk the sprinkle on that puck line, but otherwise take Dallas straight here on the money line. And the puck line is for Dallas minus 1.5. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here. I will do the parlay at the end. Oh, you guys are talking with each other there. That's totally, I gotcha. Sorry, guys. It's one of those days. Okay, we do trust in Hellebuck. I think Hellebuck is going to come out really strong today. So, love Dallas on the money line too. Perfect. We're going to hit Dallas on that money line. I think the Dallas Stars come out. You guys are agreeing on that puck line at minus 1.5. How can you turn down plus a 210 on the Dallas Stars tonight? Yeah, it is. It's a completely disrespectful line here for Dallas. We know they have seen some struggles, but I really do think, and that value, how can you turn down that value? You guys, again, here's the reason you shop those lines. I'm getting plus 210. Rocco's getting plus 220. Head on over to Betstamp, use referral code Madden. It is a free app. You can shop those lines all in one place, connect to your sportsbook right in that app, and always get those best lines. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on your comments here. What the heck is wrong with the Calgary Flames, Joe? If anyone knows, it's Daryl Sutter. He's going to whip them into shape. This team just is not jiving at the moment. Okay, the LA Kings and the Boston Bruins. This game is at 7 o'clock Eastern as well. Now, we have the LA Kings coming in here at plus 195 on that money line. The Boston Bruins at minus 240. Now, is this line right? Yeah, I think this is right. Boston is phenomenal. Allmark is expected in for them. He's got a 1.83 goals against average. Copley confirmed for the LA Kings. We know this goalie has been playing strong. He's gone 2-1 so far as he moved up into the NHL here. He's got a 3.33 goals against average. The Kings are inconsistent. They're just not playing strong enough. Now, they have covered the puck line in their last 6 games in Boston. The road team's gone 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. But do I want to step in front of the Boston Bruins here? Absolutely not. This Boston Bruins team is getting those shots on goal. They're limiting their opponents, both teams actually, doing a strong job of keeping their opponents below that 30 mark on shots on goal, with the Boston Bruins at 28.6 and the LA Kings at 29.6. Now, the Kings, off the loss to the Buffalo Sabres, 0-6 on Tuesday, I don't want to back them here at all. This is their last game of a 4-game road trip. This team wants to get home. And yes, if they won this, I think they split their road trip, so they could dig a little deeper here. The Boston Bruins also off a tough win on Tuesday night versus the Islanders. That was a 4-3 win. I think in this one, you look at Boston in that first period. I think they're the stronger team offensively, but you never know what you're going to get out of the LA Kings. I think Boston comes out of the door right away and gets up in that first period. Now, they have won their last 4 first periods following overtime, so I think it's a strong way to go. I do lean on Boston. If you put a gun to my head, told me to pick a side, pick a bet between these two other than that first period, I lean on that puck line at minus 1.5 at plus 100. I want a little bit more value there, though, because we know that the Kings have played the Boston Bruins tight and have been covering that puck line. So I'm reluctant to take that, but if you guys are wanting which side I'd go on that puck line, I would lean more Boston. I can trust in this team more. They've been outstanding on the offensive side of the ice. And I think Copley, while we have seen him play really good, I'm not sure if he can take on the parade of shots from the Boston Bruins. They're coming out averaging 35 shots on goal per game, which is second overall in the league. So this is going to be a real challenge here for Copley. And I think Boston gets the job done at home. We know how incredibly strong they are at home on that puck line as well. The LA Kings have been strong on that puck line on the road, though. So just give me Boston in the first period. Yeah, exactly. It's not great value here. Boston regulation is another way to look at this. I've got an uneasy feeling, though, that this one could go to overtime just with how strong the Kings have played them. It just kind of leaves me thinking that first period is the only way I want to take that. Anthony, that puck line in the first period is a nice way to take that as well at that minus 0.5 in the first period at plus 115. Okay. You guys, we're going to move on to the next game. Let me just have a sip of probably cold coffee. Hang on just one sec. Okay. We've got the Philadelphia Flyers and the New Jersey Devils at 7 o'clock Eastern too. I tell you, all of these games all at the same time, it's crazy when you got bets in all of them to watch them. But the Philadelphia Flyers coming in here at plus 240. New Jersey Devils minus 300. Vanek expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.39 goals against average. Hart expected here for the Philadelphia Flyers, 2.84. Now, we saw Hart earlier in the season playing absolutely lights out. He was the reason this team got so many of these wins, but we haven't been seeing the exact same performance out of him as of late. Now, as for the New Jersey Devils, they've lost their last 3 games. They're kind of like in the situation of the Calgary Flames. Heads are going to roll in New Jersey. People are saying, oh, this team never was that good anyway. This team is so solid, so good. We've seen so much talent on both sides of the puck for this team, and Vanek in goal is absolutely incredible. So I'm not worried about this team. I do think that they play a phenomenal one here. Now, the last time these teams did play, though, we saw the Philadelphia Flyers keep things tight. It was a 3-2 win for the New Jersey Devils. That was just on December 3rd. But with how the Philadelphia Flyers are struggling to score, I can't see this being one where they can keep up with the New Jersey Devils, who are averaging 3.59 goals per game and 34.7 shots. We're going to go back to what made us so much money with the New Jersey Devils. We're going to take their team total. Taking their team total over 3.5 in this one is giving us -120. So we are paying juice here, but I really am confident in the Devils to come out strong against Carter Hart. He is allowing that 2.84 like we talked about, but in some of these games as of late, he really has not been up to the level that we've seen. And the defense of the Philadelphia Flyers allowing 31.4 shots on goal and 3.27 goals per game. So give me the New Jersey Devils here. Team total over 3.5. I don't know if I could take this total over 6 just because I don't know if the Flyers can get a goal in this one. They're struggling to score as it is, only averaging that 2.4. I'm not counting on them to get these 2 goals to get us even the push here, let alone the over. Big shout out to Amanda. Day is going great, Amanda. I hope your day is as well. I know I want to take the Devils here as well. There's just no value taking them straight up. And to take them on that puck line, it is a little worrisome here, but they should be able to cover that puck line, but still, you're not getting that great value. So for me, the only way I can take it is their team total. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Florida Panthers, you guys, 7 o'clock Eastern as well. Here we got the total of 6.5. We got the Penguins rolling in here at -111, -110 for the Florida Panthers. Now, the Penguins have won their last 6 games, playing some of their best hockey. We got Sidney Crosby just playing his heart out on that ice. Now, they won on Monday versus the Dallas Stars. They got a 2-1 win. Low-scoring win. This defense is looking absolutely phenomenal out there on the ice. They're only allowing that 2.9 goals per game and 33.85 shots on goal. So it's coming down to goaltending. Jari has been incredible, and he's expected in goal tonight. He's got a 2.67 goals against average. Florida Panthers are going to be a hard team for them to beat. The Florida Panthers coming in at -110. Bobrovsky expected. He's got a 3.35 goals against average. This team is so strong offensively, averaging 3.37 goals per game and 37.4 shots on goal, which is first overall in the league. Their defense isn't doing as well as the Pittsburgh Penguins, so this is one thing that scares me in this game. Their defense is allowing 3.23 goals per game and 31.4 shots. But I do think this is one the Panthers can win. I think their offensive abilities have been so strong as of late. We have the Penguins having struggled in their last 5 meetings in Florida. They've only won 1 of those. I think this is another one where they struggle in Florida. This team's just rolling way too hot right now. It's going to end. I think the Florida Panthers can do it. Now, they got their last win was over the Columbus Blue Jackets. They got a 4-0 win. I would look at Florida as a team total, maybe as well. Matthew Tkachuk, we know he's always good for a goal or 2. He has scored a goal in 4 of the Panthers' last 5 games versus Eastern Conference opponents. So I would look at him too. I'd look at Sidney Crosby. We know Sid the Kid is going to come out hard and strong. Those empty netters he's been able to get have been absolutely phenomenal. But I lean on the Florida Panthers to come out and get something done on home ice tonight. So strong on home ice, going 8-3-2-1 on the season. We know the Pittsburgh Penguins have been strong on the road as well, going 8-5-2. So this is going to be one of the best games of the night for sure. Okay. And then you know what, you guys, if I'm looking at this total, Man, I would love to take it over. And I think this total, if it was at 6, I would take it over. At 6.5, I'm going to lean on the under. We've seen what the Pittsburgh Penguins have been able to do defensively. They limited the Stars to only that 1 goal. We've seen the Panthers come out strong defensively as well. Well, not as strong as the Pittsburgh Penguins. Both of these teams have strong defenses. I'm going to take the under 6.5. But again, this was like in that game the other night where I had the Devils, and I can't remember who they were playing. Maybe that was versus the Stars, and I took the under because believing in the goaltending, believing in the ability of the defenses, it's a bet that can go so south so fast because the offensive ability on these teams is absolutely phenomenal. I think we have a defensive goaltending battle in this one, so I would kind of lean to that under 6.5 just with the strong defense we've got. Let's look at the next game on the board. I'm just going to look at your guys' comments here. Rangers. I love the Rangers tonight. Yeah, Matthew Tkachuk is day-to-day, potentially not playing. I hope he comes out. He's one of those players, and I know from when he was in Calgary that if he has the opportunity to play, he definitely will be out on that ice. So we'll see what happens with him there. We got the Seattle Kraken taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. This game's at 7 o'clock Eastern as well, you guys. Again, we're about halfway through the card. You guys are watching a Pikket with Joe. We do go live every single weekday at 3:30, except for today because I just wasn't able to get all of these games capped in time to kick off at 3:30. Remember, I will be doing the parlay and best bets at the end of the show. And I will get these ones bookmarked today since this is an extraordinarily long show with 12 games on the board. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe, check out Betstamp for line shopping. Use referral code Madden. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can head on over to vegasinsider.com or sobet.io. All the links are below this video. So as well as some match deposits and things. Okay, now we got that out of the way. The Seattle Kraken taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. We got the Canes coming in here at minus 196, plus 162 for the Seattle Kraken. Martin Jones expected for them. Now, the Seattle Kraken did lose that last game to the Lightning. They got blown out of the water 6-2. The Canes coming in here, playing so strong. They've been on a road trip, though. This is their first game home off a 5-game road trip. This is a fade spot for me of the Carolina Hurricanes. We know they got a low-scoring win over the Red Wings in their last one out. It was a 1-0 win there. And offensively, this team isn't hitting over that 3. They've been a really strong defensive team. Actually, both of these teams able to really limit their opponent's shots on goal, with the Carolina Hurricanes only allowing 26.2 shots on goal per game, and the Seattle Kraken at that 27.4. So defensively, over the season, very similar, but the Seattle Kraken have been giving up more goals as of late. We saw it versus the Lightning there. I think in this one, with the Kraken coming in here on 1 day's rest and how strong they've been on the road, we can rely on them to have a strong day here. Now, if you take them plus 1.5 on that puck line, it's sitting around minus 145. So I just turned on my phone, whatever I said, turned on my Google. So if you take them plus 1.5 on that puck line at minus 145, I do think there's still value. I do like them straight up on this money line. I think they have every opportunity to pull off the win in the fade situation of the Carolina Hurricanes off that road trip. I think it's really hard, and we got to look at those teams that are not known for doing well off those road trips. The Canes don't have any real positives off those road trips. They won the last matchup versus Seattle Kraken back in October, 5-1. The Kraken not wanting this team to beat them again. Like I said, 7-2 in their last 9 road games, 9-3 in their last 12 games, playing on 1 day's rest. Now, that's total. It opened at 6, now down to 5.5. I tell you, with how the Canes are doing defensively, it's really hard for me here to take this over. I lean on that over 5.5, though. We have seen anytime we get these 5.5s, these numbers don't even come close to staying under that number. I'm not going to bet a total. I think the Kraken keep it tight. Okay, I think Amazon just delivered. Good thing my dog didn't bark. Okay, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers at 7 p.m. Eastern. We got a total that's dropped from 6.5 down to 6. The Leafs coming in here as the favorite on the road at -126. Matt Murray expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.5 goals against average. Now they're off that big, nice win over the Anaheim Ducks. It was a 7-0 win. They got the shutout there. This is their first game of a road trip. Now the New York Rangers coming in here at +105. The Garden is going to be rocking. Igor expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.52 goals against average. This team has won their last 4 games. They got that overtime win over the Devils 4-3. I think this is a game where the Rangers are finally getting back to form what we saw at the end of last season. I got to take the Rangers here on the money line. I absolutely love the value. We know the issues with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Their defense is playing incredible, but this team is inconsistent. Even when they go on winning, losing streaks, the inconsistency is there. I like the value on the Rangers here. I think they have a nice big win in this one. It's the only way I can go with this. The underdog also 4-1 in those last 5 meetings. The Maple Leafs have struggled versus the Rangers, going 1-4 in the last 5 meetings. Rangers in regulation, I absolutely love at +140. It's kind of like, which goalie do you trust here more, Matt Murray or Igor Shesterkin? I trust Igor 100%. I know you can't sleep on the Leafs. This team is a phenomenal team. They have been getting some nice wins as of late. I just can't trust them on this first game of a road trip versus an opponent that is really hard to beat at home in the Garden. The Garden is such a hard place for teams to play. Well, they have had more success this year. You got to think back to the previous years. And with the Rangers getting back into their old form, I think this is a good one. It's hard. The Leafs have won the last 5 as a favorite, but I'm going to lean on the Rangers. Got to love that value. Okay, guys, we've got a couple more games to go over. I think we got 4 games left on the board. Yeah, we got 4 more on the board. We're going to look at the next one, the Nashville Predators and the Winnipeg Jets. I know you guys already started talking about this game. Give me the Winnipeg Jets here in regulation. I think they come out, they get a nice win. You can't fade Connor Hellebuck at home. Now he's got a 2.45 goals against average. Now we know they lost that game on Tuesday to Vegas. The Jets played the better game. They should have won that game. And if you watch, the penalty that they got is absolutely what put the nail in the coffin for them, allowing Vegas to score. You can't let Vegas go on a power play. Absolutely not. So they made technical mistakes out on that ice. Otherwise, they would have won this game. They covered the puck line, which is really interesting, in their last 5 versus the Predators. So while I do think taking them in regulation is a beautiful way to take this, and it will get you close to even money, I do like them here on that puck line at -1.5 +150. You guys pretty well understand my betting stats. Go big or go home. I like laying these puck lines here, getting that plus money. I'd rather go 2 and 3 in a night and the 2 that I win be beautiful plus money and give me a positive ROI. I think the whole reason for betting is not your straight up record. It is your ROI, which we all know that bankroll at the end of the day is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you went 10 and 5. If you went 10 and 5 on -200s, you are losing money. So I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets here in regulation. I'm also going to take them for a regular size bet, not a sprinkle, on that puck line at -1.5 at +150. I just think the Preds, they have been completely struggling to score. I think they struggle here to get the puck in the back of Connor Hellebuck's net. We know the Jets have been getting these goals, and the Predators have not won any of their last 4 games. They lost that last game to the Edmonton Oilers. Now, they did get 3 goals in that, which is a big thing for the Preds here. They are averaging only 2.52 goals per game. Now, the Predators have failed to cover the puck line in each of their last 7 games, following a loss as well. And the Jets 6 and 2 in their last 8 games, playing on one day's rest. Everything to me tells me to take the Jets here on that puck line at -1.5 at +150. Okay. The over 3.5 goals, over 2.5 goals. Yeah, I like the over 2.5 shots on goal more than the over 3.5. Okay, next one here. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, we made money on Chicago getting their over 2.5 in that last game. Not able to win that game versus the Capitals, which I think we put a little bit of a sprinkle. I can't remember. I know I put a little bit of a sprinkle on it. I'm not sure if I told you guys too. But they've lost their last 4 games. That last one to the Capitals was a 7-3 loss. They got over that 2.5. That's all I cared about because that was my main bet of that game. Facing the Vegas Golden Knights, who are -215 here on the money line for this game. We got a total that opened at 6.5, down to 6. Logan Thompson expected in goal for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now he has a 2.7 goals against average. Chicago just not scoring these goals. They're only averaging that 2.41 goals per game and 25.7 shots on goal. Opponents are completely limiting this team, their ability to get these shots here. So if I tell you I'm going to take the Chicago Blackhawks +1.5 on this puck line at -135, you probably think I'm completely nuts, and I don't blame you. But I think this is a tighter game than the 1.5. We look at the Chicago Blackhawks. They play the Vegas Golden Knights so tight. They have covered the puck line as an underdog against the Vegas Golden Knights in their last 8 games. I think this is another one where they do. And now Vegas has gone 5-2 in their last 7 meetings in Chicago, but in tight games. Last time these 2 teams played was in October. Vegas only scored 1 goal. The Blackhawks were limited to 0, but they did hold Vegas to only that 1 goal. So give me the +1.5 at -135 for the Chicago Blackhawks to be able to play strong enough to limit the ability for Vegas to run away with this game. And now when we also look at Chicago versus Pacific Division opponents, they have covered the puck line in each of their last 9 games versus Pacific opponents. So I think this is a good one for them to stay tight. It's going to be an ugly one, I tell you. They absolutely will stay in the fight, Joe. This is a team that is not giving up. They're not packing their bags and going home to their moms. They are definitely holding their heads high and going home to their families, that's for sure. Yeah, Vegas isn't blowing anyone out. And when we look at Vegas on that puck line, well, they have been strong on the puck line on the road, going 11-5 on the road puck line, 16-15 overall. With the Chicago Blackhawks 7-8 on that puck line at home. I think that moves to 8-8 tonight, 13-14 on the season. So I think we'll see a break even on that puck line for the Chicago Blackhawks after tonight. 2 more games left to go over, you guys. 9:00 Eastern. We'll see the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now, Anderson expected in goal for Buffalo. Buffalo rolling in here at +146 on that money line. Colorado at -178 with Georgia expected here. He's got a 2.65 goals against average. Now, we've seen Buffalo win their last game. We've seen Colorado win their last 2, even with these injuries that this team is facing. The Colorado Avalanche have also won the last 8 as a favorite against the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres on the puck line really interest me in this one tonight, because I do think this is a tighter game just with the players out in Colorado. I'm interested in that puck line at +1.5. It's juiced so at -150, so I won't get there to bet it. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was a really tight one, a 1-goal game. Now, we've seen the Colorado Avalanche struggling to cover that puck line, unable to cover that puck line in their last 4 games off a win. So they are coming into this one off a win. The last time these 2 teams did play, though, Colorado was able to cover that puck line 6-4, and that was back on December 1st. But that game, if you watched it, was a lot closer than that number represents. Now, the Sabres have struggled in Colorado, going 1-9 in the last 10 meetings. I'm going to look at Colorado's ability to score. And this is where I think the greatest strength of this team is, because we know their defense is allowing these goals to come in. So they're averaging that 3.93 goals per game and 32.6 shots on goal. Colorado is allowing 32.9 shots on goal. I see the Buffalo Sabres getting over their team total. Now they have a team total today of 2.5. I'm going to hit it at -128. So again, there's a little bit of juice there, but I'm willing to take it here because I think that is the best bet of this game. And that's what I'm going to hit. You know, I want to take the Sabres here on the money line. There is no value in taking Colorado for me or Colorado in regulation. I would look at, if you wanted to take a side, to take the Sabres to fight this one out. I think they give a hard-fought battle here. Anthony, I wish you the best on that money line. I will take the Sabres -2.5 on that team total. The last game on the board, you guys, and thank you everyone so much for watching. If you can hit that like button right below, I would really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button so you know when the shows are on the weekend, because we know there's no set time on the weekend games. Okay, the last game on the board, we got the St. Louis Blues taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I know a lot of you were saying Connor McDavid shots on goal tonight, over 3.5. Absolutely take his shots on goal tonight. Over 3.5. St. Louis Blues allowing 32.3 shots on goal per game and 3.72 goals per game. Edmonton offensively is phenomenal, averaging that 3.63 goals per game and 31.8 shots on goal. Now, the St. Louis Blues, can they keep up offensively? I don't know. They are only averaging 2.9 goals per game and 29.7 shots on goal. But we know the defense of the Edmonton Oilers is kind of their Achilles heel here, allowing that 3.4 and 33.2. And you can say whatever you want about the defense, or sorry, about the goaltending of this team. But like I will keep saying, I feel for whoever is in goal for the Edmonton Oilers, because I think this team really blames a lot other issues on goaltending when I think they need to look at goaltending and defensive play. Now, when I'm looking at this, the Blues have covered the puck line in each of their last 10 games as an underdog following a home win. So that's the situation they're in. But taking the Blues +1.5 here really has no value. And it kind of puts me off taking Edmonton here. The last time these teams played, Edmonton won this 3-1. So while I look at this, Binghamton just hasn't been himself. He's got a 3.23 goals against average. I'm looking for which side of the puck do I trust more on both of their offenses and defense? And it has to be the Edmonton's offense ability to get these goals. So we can look at their team total over 3.5. It's coming in at -106. And I feel pretty confident in this team getting 4 goals in this game. We know how strong offensively this team is. They can get 4 goals in a matter of one period in some of these games. They just come out absolutely incredible. They won their last game versus the Predators, able to get 6 goals in that, limited the Predators to 3. Now, really interesting here, both these teams off wins over the Predators. The St. Louis Blues had a totally different game versus the Preds. It was a 1-0 game. Their defense is strong, but not as strong as overall on the season at that 3.72. So if their defense has a slip up and doesn't play like it played versus the Preds, I think this is an easy over that 3.5 for the Edmonton Oilers here. And I know Edmonton is dead to me and I'll forever call them Deadmonton, but I think we can make some money with Deadmonton tonight. Rantanen over 3.5 shots on goal. Great value there at +125. I love that, Matt. All the best in that bet. I think it's a great way to take that. Okay, you guys smash the like button. Gil is right. We are going to go ahead with the parlay. I'll tell you my best bets of the game. We'll put those into the parlay, and then I'll give you my best bets out of those bets, what we're going to throw into another not so long shot parlay, because we know 12 games on the board, it's a lottery pick to win all 12 of those. So we're going to go with this one. Oil Slickers money line. There you go. Anthony with the Oil Slickers on the money line and the under 6.5. I have a friend that calls them the lubricators as well. Edmonton sure gets a lot of games. Now, you know, it's hard to look at this game and take an under with Edmonton. I don't know. I struggle to see the Blues scoring in this one. Edmonton could go over on their own, so I'm going to stay off the total. But let's look. Let's recap. Let's build this parlay as we recap. And let's make some freaking money tonight on the ice. We gone over these games so fast, only 45 minutes. Bear with me for the next 15. We'll get everything done here, and then we'll make some freaking money tonight. So let's jump into this, you guys. Okay, the first game on the ice, 7 p.m. Eastern, Anaheim Ducks and Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to take the Montreal Canadiens team total over 3.5. I love their ability to come out here and have a really strong offensive day in this one. We're getting plus 120 with that as well. If you're looking to just bet the Montreal Canadiens in regulation, I do like that. I'm going to take them for the parlay in regulation for that win. Or actually, for the parlay, I'll just take Montreal there for the win on that money line. We'll pay that little bit of juice in the parlay. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I love the Columbus Blue Jackets team total over 2.5 at plus 120. I think Tampa does get the win. Too highly juiced, so give me the over at 6 in this one. I'm going to put it in the parlay. Columbus Blue Jackets and the Tampa Bay Lightning over 6. The Dallas Stars and the Washington Capitals, you guys, for the parlay. I love the Dallas Stars here on the money line. For other bets, I'm loving the Dallas Stars on the puck line at minus 1.5 at plus 210. I think you got to lean on the over for this game. I think we come out, we see goals mainly on the side of the Dallas Stars. I think after what they were held to in their last game versus the Devils, they come out so strong offensively. We know this team is so strong offensively, and I think the Capitals are in for a bit of regression here off that road trip. So give me the Dallas Stars in the puck line at minus 1.5. Give me the Dallas Stars on the money line for the parlay at minus 118, and I lean to that over. The LA Kings and the Boston Bruins. I think Boston has to get it done here, but I do think this would be a tighter game if the Kings come out and play solid. Now, that is a big if because this Kings team is really hard to bet on. I like the Boston Bruins here in that first period. They've won their last 4 first periods off an overtime win. I'm going to take the Bruins in regulation for the parlay. But for the best bet of this game, I do think the Bruins in the first period is the way to go with this one. You can take them on that puck line if you want. I think there's still some value there on that money line. We're not paying too much juice in that first period. And if you put a gun to my head, I would lean on the Boston Bruins on that puck line minus 1.5. I just can't trust the Kings, even though they, if they come out solid, they could keep it tight. But we know the Kings are so inconsistent that if I had to, I would take Boston on that puck line. Now, the Philadelphia Flyers and the New Jersey Devils. I'm going to take the Devils team total over 3.5. I love their ability to come out here and get these goals tonight on Carter Hart. I think the Devils, the puck line is another solid way to go. I just struggle to see the Philadelphia Flyers scoring the goals. So I think the best bet is the Devils team total over 3.5 at minus 120. For the parlay, I'm just going to put the Devils in regulation for the parlay. I don't even see the Philadelphia Flyers being ones that could take this to overtime. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Florida Panthers, you guys, this is going to be one of the best games on the ice. I think defenses just come out in masses tonight with these two teams, but I do think you could look at Matthew Tkachuk for his shots on goal, that anytime goal. He's been so strong for the Florida Panthers, Bobrovsky and Jari in goal. I lean on that under 6.5, but like I said, this is a hard situation to take an under 6.5 with these offensive abilities, but the defense of the Penguins is just playing so phenomenal. I do think the Panthers get this win, though, here at home. I'm going to lean on the Panthers on that money line at minus 110 for a straight-up bet. For the parlay, you guys, I'm going to leave this one out of the parlay because I think this is really, it's a coin flip. Whoever gets that puck luck on both sides between the Penguins and the Panthers, whoever gets the puck luck wins this one. We can't cap puck luck. Penguins have struggled in Florida, but they're playing some of their best hockey right now. Sidney Crosby looking absolutely phenomenal. So I'd look at him for an anytime goal as well, Sidney Crosby and Matthew Tkachuk, but I'm going to leave this one off. I can see the total going both ways, and I can make a fight for both teams. The Seattle Kraken and the Carolina Hurricanes here. Give me the Kraken here on that money line at plus 162. Give me them on the puck line at plus 1.5 at minus 145. Of course, I'm more confident in them keeping this one tight, but I'm sprinkling on that money line. I think they have the ability to come out and get the win with the Canes coming in here off a 5-game road trip coming home. Give me the Kraken plus 1.5 for the parlay. And that total at 5.5, it's so hard to take the under, especially what we've seen out of Seattle's defense as of late. Now, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers. I love the Rangers tonight at home in the Garden at plus 105. This is another one I'm going to leave out of the parlay, but best bet, I love the Rangers here at plus 105 on that money line. I think it's their night to get things done. I know a couple of you said don't sleep on the Leafs. The Leafs have struggled versus the Rangers, only winning one of the last 5 meetings. So give me the Rangers here. Matt Murray also expected, and Igor. I trust in Igor more. Got 4 more games. Bear with me, guys. We're flying through. The Nashville Predators and the Winnipeg Jets. Give me the Jets here at home. For the parlay, I'm taking the Jets on the money line. Connor Hellebuck, we know he struggled in that last game. He's not going to struggle again. Let him bounce back in this one. Give me the Jets in regulation. Give me the Jets in the money line. Give me the Jets minus 1.5 on that puck line at plus 150. I think the Jets come out absolutely phenomenal tonight and have a big night. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Chicago Blackhawks. This game, 8:30. I'm going to look at the Blackhawks here, plus 1.5 on that puck line to keep this game tight with the Vegas Golden Knights. Like a couple of you said in the comments, this team has lost their last 4. They are not giving up. They're fighting these battles each and every game. Now, Vegas off that win over the Jets. That was a hard-fought battle for them. Last time these teams played, we saw a really low scoring one. I think we see another battle here on the ice. Give me the Chicago Blackhawks here on the puck line at plus 1.5 at minus 135 for the parlay. But I do like the Blackhawks sprinkling on that money line. You guys know I have to do it. It's not one for my clients, not best bet, but if I was going to sprinkle, that's where I'd sprinkle. The Buffalo Sabres and the Colorado Avalanche. We've got the Sabres team total over 2.5. I think they come out strong. I think they get 3 goals against Colorado. Colorado is still beat up here for the parlay reasons because we've seen the struggles out of Colorado covering that puck line. I'm going to take the Sabres on that puck line at plus 1.5 for the parlay. That's going in at minus 150. The next game, the St. Louis Blues and the Edmonton Oilers. Give me the Edmonton Oilers team total over 3.5 at minus 106. Give me the Edmonton Oilers in regulation for the parlay. It's too juiced otherwise, but for the parlay, give me Edmonton minus 176 on that money line. So that is the parlay, you guys. I'm going to recap it here. Hawks no good with Soderblom. Now, he has not been bad. He's got a 3.18 goals against average. I do think he's not the best, but with Vegas, I don't know. I can't trust in how inconsistent Vegas has been at covering that puck line versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Blackhawks able to cover the puck line in the last 8 versus Vegas. They're doing something right out there on that ice. I can't step in front of them here, especially with this team digging deep to finally get that win. And they're just not finding it, but it's pretty hard for this team to keep losing. Okay, Aaron, they might get dusted. They absolutely might. Let's look at this one. You are so welcome. I appreciate you guys for being here each and every day with me as well. So the long shot parlay, we've got Montreal on the money line. I've already put a win next to that one. I don't know if that is a good thing or a bad thing. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the Tampa Bay Lightning over 6. The Dallas Stars on the money line. The Boston Bruins in regulation. The Devils in regulation. The Kraken plus 1.5. The Jets on the money line. The Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5. The Sabres on the puck line plus 1.5. And the Edmonton Oilers on the money line. You know, those two with the Bruins in regulation, the Devils in regulation, since this is such a long leg parlay, let's just throw them on the money line. So I'm going to recap that one more time because it's going to change our odds a little, but it could go from a win to a loss or a loss to a win by taking them in regulation. So not on regulation, on the money line. So Montreal, we're going to take the Columbus Blue Jackets in Tampa over 6. Dallas on the money line, Bruins on the money line, Devils on the money line, Kraken on the puck line plus 1.5. Jets on the money line, the Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5 on the puck line, the Sabres on the puck line plus 1.5, and Edmonton on that money line. Whew, that is what we're doing. Best bets. What bets I like best today, just for you guys, because I like you so much. The Jets here. I love the Jets here in regulation and plus 1.5 or minus 1.5 on that puck line. I think the Jets come out, have a phenomenal game in this. Montreal's team total over 3.5. I like the Dallas Stars here on the puck line minus 1.5 at plus 210. I absolutely love today. The Bruins in the first period and the Rangers on that money line. So if I was to take out of these 5 bets that I absolutely love, what I would parlay out of these just to give you guys better odds. I take the Jets here on the money line, Dallas on the money line. And then if you parlay those two, you're going to get pretty even odds here. But I think the Jets cover that puck line. Dallas covers that puck line. So that's where I got those out of. Montreal over 3.5 for their team total. Bruins in the first period. And the New York Rangers here on the money line. Those are the bets today, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging in there. 57 minutes. I really thought this show was going to be an hour and a half. You guys are absolutely the best. Thanks for rocking with me for the last hour. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the content. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's make some freaking money on the ice. I will be back tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. I've got so many shows tomorrow, guys. We got to go off on time. I will be up earlier to make sure I have enough time to cap all of these games. But I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for being here. Let's make some freaking money. Bye, guys.